There's a beautiful look at Seattle, Washington, as we are at Safeco Field, home of the Mariners, first of a 3-game series. Felix Hernandez will pitch tonight for the Mariners as he leads his teammates out onto the field. Let's check the game time weather for tonight. It's brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. 60 degrees, so another cool night here in Seattle. Remember, we were just here a little bit over 2 weeks ago, and it was pretty cold weather, but it was raining. Not the case today, but it's just a cool night. But blue skies above, so we do not have to worry about rain the next 3 nights.
I think you should sing a song. Blue skies above.
Not right now.
I think you would be good at that.
Not quite ready to entertain just yet. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Athletics. Starts with that man, Matt Joyce, who will be in left field. Marcus Simeon's at short. Jed Lowry's at second. Chris Davis is the DH. Then it's Matt Olson, Matt Chapman, Mark Canha, Chad Pinder. Pinder's going to be in right field. And Jonathan Lucroy is the catcher.
And it's King Felix Hernandez with King's Court, Night Court down on the left field line. But for Felix Hernandez, surprisingly, the A's got to him in the first inning. A big 2-run home run by Jed Lowry on a 3-0 fastball, and that was the difference in the game. One of those losses coming to the Athletics as he went 6 1/3. On the final game of the series, the A's salvaged 1 out of the series, but facing the King tonight.
So the first pitch of the game is a little bit outside. So we are underway. Matt Joyce stepping in with a 206 batting average. A couple of home runs for Joyce.
The thing about Felix Hernandez, as we mentioned in our open, he still is a very good pitcher, but he's not as overpowering as he once was, but he's smart enough to realize that he's not and has adapted his style.
Coming off a win in Chicago.
Which he was down 3-0 in the first inning in that game.
Swing and a miss. So looking for his 4th win of the year is the 32-year-old Felix Hernandez. There's that hard slider, and he went around. Tried to hold up, couldn't do it. So that's out number 1 here in the top of the first inning. Defensively behind Felix Hernandez, it'll be Ben Gamble in left, D. Gordon in center, Mitch Haniger in right, Seager, Segura, Cano, Healy on the infield, and Mike Zunino is your catcher. So that is the A lineup that Scott Servais has been waiting to use, and he is finally able to put all healthy bodies out there, and that's a pretty good team.
Well, getting Zunino back, to me, it was one of the biggest ones, but Ryan Healy also is healthy. So both of those guys last time were on the disabled list. But Zunino, a very good catcher. He already has 3 home runs and started the season on the DL. But a very good, I remember when Scott Servais, the manager, 3rd season, a good road trip, 7-3 on the 10-game trip. But the thing about Zunino,
right on the outside corner.
Zunino was blocking pitches from Felix when he was a kid and handling the pitching staff, but his offense wasn't that great at the time, so they sent him down.
So let's see if this was a strike. Marcus Simeon didn't think so.
2-seamer back door. A lot of guys will give up on it, and that's the problem. If that pitch is working, Andrew Triggs has a similar type of pitch that he throws to right-handers. A lot of lefties in this lineup, though.
So here's Lowry, who takes a first pitch strike. Jed Lowry at .339. 6 home runs, 27 runs batted in.
Okay, one of the problems the A's and really teams facing Felix Hernandez have, and that is he wants to live up to the billing of everybody on the staff. And they've got some pretty good pitchers on their starting staff, and he used to be the king, still is the king, but maybe not with the same stuff he's had in the past. But the good thing about him is that he fits in perfectly with this rotation, as you see the fastball, curve, slider, and changeup. But you see the curveball and the changeup 45%, fastball 46%. That's probably the biggest difference. He utilizes all of his pitches now better than probably before. He didn't have to.
Well, tonight, any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go. So 2-2 the count to Lowry. That one is belted to right field. It's hit pretty well. Haniger's back. Haniger at the wall, and that baby's gone.
Amazing. Well, he had a great April, and how about a start of a May for Jed Lowry?
7th home run of the year for Lowry to give the A's an early 1-0 lead.
Well, you can see the 2-2 pitch, and Felix tried to go inside. The ball did not start in far enough, came back and really stayed in the middle of the plate. The sound of the home run, or the sound off the bat, told you the ball was going to carry. And the launch angle, all that factored in to being a solo home run, just like he did back on the 15th of April when Jed hit a 2-run shot on a 3-0 fastball. He does it again tonight, this after having an off day yesterday. That off day was spent in Houston because that's where his home is. Flew in last night.
So his 3rd career home run against Felix Hernandez, 51 at-bats.
There's Boos. See Boos?
Stay by the home run guy. 2-1 now to Chris Davis.
See that pitch right there. Chris looking fastball, didn't get it, and not surprised that Felix Hernandez is not going to give up a home run on a 2-0 pitch and try to challenge somebody, especially with the power of Chris Davis.
It's a strike. Davis tried to hold up, couldn't do it. 2-2 the count. May have been a strike on the location as well. Davis 7 homers, 23 RBIs. Got him swinging. That looked like that changeup, and it's a pretty good pitch. So Davis strikes out. Home run by Lowry. It was his 7th of the year. So that home run gives the A's a 1-0 lead after half an inning from Seattle. Home run lineup that he will face for the Mariners is Gordon, Segura, Cano, Cruz, Seager, Haniger, Zunino, Gamble, and Healy.
And a week ago tonight, Andrew Triggs had a very good start against the Texas Rangers. Went 6 innings, picked up a victory as the A's won 3-2. He did throw yesterday. Came out to the park here and threw with Jeremy Dowdle as he makes his 6th start of the season, 2nd against the Mariners, and started the 1st game of the weekend series a couple of weeks ago. It was against Mike Leake.
And it's bunted. Triggs flips and not in time.
He didn't flip it quickly enough. He got to it, but he couldn't get out of his glove. And just enough of a hesitation that D. Gordon out of the batter's box from the left side. And really, it was a bunt that should have been handled, and it was by Triggs. But watch as he catches the ball. Could not get it out right there, and too light of a flip. And the speed is, you almost have to throw overhand. That's called outrunning the baseball.
Yep.
And that's exactly what D. Gordon did.
So the 4th bunt hit of the season for D. Gordon, and he'll have a whole bunch when this season's over.
You notice what he did, Kyle? He stayed away from Matt Chapman.
No, I don't blame him.
Because that weekend, Chapman got him twice.
That's right.
And so I said, I don't want to bunt that way.
That is a good call. I think you're right. He's aboard. Here's Segura. We all know about Gordon and stealing bases.
He may not waste any time either.
He's 10 for 12.
Wow.
Mariners record when he records at least one hit, 15 and 5. He's got one already. Not running. Segura bunts, and he bunts it foul.
Segura runs well, but in a bunt, this is the time to throw to second and get the lead runner. And that bunt was bunted hard enough. Had it been fair, probably what Chapman would have done.
Segura, 298, 2 home runs, 21 RBI, so he's off to a good start. He's got 9 doubles. He's got a triple. Kind of a tough guy to defend because he can do that. He really goes line to line, and he's very aggressive, does not walk a lot.
And tough to strike out. He does make contact.
Gordon leading the American League in steals. Gene Segura tied for 3rd. They can do some damage.
And you know what, Cap? Ricky's probably watching. Ricky said, "You only got 10 at the end of the month. Is that it?"
That's it. Triggs will have to keep a close eye on him. On deck is Robinson Cano. A Lowry home run in the top of the 1st. As the A's leading 1-0. Not running. And foul tip hung on by Luke Croy, and that's a strikeout. So 1 away. Here's the A's defense behind Triggs, Joyce, Canna, and Pinder left, center, and right. Chapman and Simeon on the left side of the diamond. Lowry and Olsen on the right side. And
you know, Cap, just
the catcher.
Just thinking that if Gordon didn't run with Segura up, you got power in Cano, you got power in Cruz and Seager. So the big 3 are coming up. Of course, there is a hole between 1st and 2nd now with the left-handed hitting Cano. And Lowry trying to take as much of that gap away as he can by playing closer to 1st.
First pitch strike to Robinson Cano.
You know, one thing let's not forget here too, especially with Cano and Jonathan Lucroy look at the dugout, but this is where he needs help. For somebody to yell if Gordon does take off, because he's got to come out of the back of the box quickly. And you can only be helped by somebody yelling because the hitter is blocking the view of the runner at 1st. That's too late.
Very late timeout call by Todd Tishner. Probably too late. Tishner, Porter, Miller, Hernandez with Bill Miller at second base. He's the crew chief.
You know, this is where you have to factor in as an umpire. You have speed at 1st. You're going to have the different moves by the pitcher. You cannot allow a hitter just to call a timeout with the guy in the set position as Triggs is now. Again, emphasize that the umpire you can request it, but you don't have to grant it. By the way, do you count that pitch, which was a no pitch, as a pitch count?
We're not going to count it. Gordon does not have a real big lead. Maybe just sizing up Triggs, although Triggs faced the Mariners on April 13th, so Gordon has seen him.
But the way he got down the line going to first base on the bunt, he's not hurt. I mean, there's nothing wrong with him.
Not running. And the ball's hit high and deep to right center. Pinder's back. Pinder near the wall. Pinder makes the catch.
Couldn't have hit it in a better place from the A's standpoint. It was in the corner, which is the deepest part of the park in right center. hit it right into the corner and sounded great off the bat, similar to Jed Lowry, but the difference of where Cano hit his into right center near the Root Sports sign. Pinder goes over at the 380, one of the deepest parts of the park. And there to back up was Mark Canha, but a good job by Pinder staying with it. And even better with Gordon thinking maybe the ball was out. He went almost to second base. Canha's back.
Oh, yeah.
The masked man.
So 2 outs, and here's Nelson Cruz. And Mark Canha on Twitter today put out a picture of the temperature in Seattle, and I think it said 51 degrees around noon, and it was cold. And he said, mask update. Yep.
Good block by Jonathan Lucroy, the only guy on the field probably wearing the mask, but a little superstition involved, I'm sure.
Cruz hits it to Marcus Semien, side retired. So a leadoff single, no damage done, and we're through 1 with the A's leading 1-0. Sports app. 1-0 A's lead, second inning. It'll be Olsen, Chapman, and Canha against Felix Hernandez. Hernandez did strike out 3 in the first inning, sandwiched around the Lowry home run. Kings Court is in session. They bring turkey legs out once a game. They pick some lucky fans, and these youngsters are psyched.
Wow, I'd take one of those.
Yeah, that is a major turkey leg.
You know, when I saw on the Jumbotron, it looked like a big old drumstick ice cream or something. Then realized that's a drumstick, and that's a big one.
It's a turkey leg.
Yeah.
That looks good. So with 2 strikes, the Kings Court chanting down the left field line. They're looking for a strikeout. That's what they're there for.
Well, one thing about Matt Olson, and you pitch him outside, they're shifting him to the right side and playing very shallow as Gamble in left field, which helps. But Matt Olson, we've seen more and more going to left field, and very smart player to be able to do that.
Olson had 257 with 3 home runs and 12 runs batted in.
There's your shift. Just Kyle Seager at shortstop position. He's the third baseman. Gamble shallow in left field.
Well, they've shifted on every A's hitter so far.
Yeah.
And this one runs off the plate. Now it's 3-2.
Oh, who's it? Kansas City had the 480 or something?
What's that?
We showed the list, and Houston was second.
Oh, the most, yeah.
Kansas City the most.
Well, wait till I tell you what happened tonight.
Oh, no.
Twins Blue Jays game. You're going to just You're going to think I'm lying. And he walked him.
It's good bad 0-2. Tell me about it.
So I just caught this right before the game on social media. According to the story, the Twins facing Justin Smoke, right? Okay, we know all about Justin Smoke. Started with a 4-man infield. After one strike, they went to a 4-man outfield.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Now that's what I read.
So more than Joey Gallo, huh?
So,
wow.
If that is indeed true, that would be a first, I believe.
You know what they're going to have to do, okay? I think they're going to have to start pace of game shifts, because seriously, they're doing everything else, but the time it takes to do the shifts.
That's a fair ball backhanded by Seager. He throws the second for one to first. Double play.
That's unbelievable.
I would have said there is absolutely no way that the Mariners will turn this double play, and they did, and Chapman's fast. Wow.
Well, Seager to his right in foul territory. Perfect throw to Cano. Cano with a quick turn back to first base, and that quickly a double play. And nobody really better at second than Cano, and Matt Chapman sprinting. And so it wasn't as if he thought it was a double in his turn in the bag. He was sprinting to first base.
Huh.
It's unbelievable.
That's probably as good of a double play as we've seen this year.
And that was probably in honor of his brother. About his brother going on the DL with a Tommy John surgery as a shortstop. Corey Seager.
His elbow's been bothering him for a while, and it sounded like it just got worse through spring training. So that's a big loss for the Dodgers. I like it. He's still into it, man.
Well, Seager took a double away from Chapman. It could have been second and third, nobody out. Instead, a great double play turn or 2 outs.
There's a strike at the knees, 2-1. Canna had 300, 4 home runs, or 308, excuse me. He's got 11 RBIs. Doing a good job getting a chance to play every day. More action for Seager. Scoops this one up. And that will do it for the A's. So a terrific double play turned by the Mariners. Bottom of the second coming up. 1-0, the A's lead. Back with you tomorrow. You know that.
Who is that guy?
But check out who's pitching for the Athletics. Brett Anderson. He's in the clubhouse. He's not activated yet. He will be tomorrow. But he's going to square off with James Paxton. Our coverage begins at 6:30 with A's pregame live. So Brett Anderson tomorrow back with the Athletics, back in the big leagues, and he's going to start for the A's. So Anderson and Cahill are back in the A's rotation. Canna on the move, and he can't get it, and it bounces up into the seats, and Kyle Seager has a leadoff double.
I thought he had it. I thought he was going to get to the ball, and something happened right at the end. He didn't leave his feet, but Canna was running. Good swing by Kyle Seager and start the double play that he did. And then this ball in right center, it looked like Canna right there was going to come up with it, and that was it. Just hit the warning track and a double. He's looking at Pinder, I guess farther away than it looked initially.
So double number 8 for Seager, and that'll bring up Mitch Haniger. Haniger, one of the better stories in the American League this year. Just having a great series, or having a great season. 10 home runs, 27 RBIs, and what a great series he had against the A's a couple of weeks ago. He had 2 homers and 7 RBIs in the 3-game series here at Safeco.
That was the Triggs game that he hit the 3-run home run off Chris Hatcher late in the game when they scored 5. The A's hit 3 home runs in that game. But the Mariners had a 3-run shot and a 2-run shot. Remember that kid Vogelback, who's no longer with the club, it's AAA. Hit his first major league home run in that game, that inning.
And the Mariners took 2 out of 3. The A's won the last game, but the thing that stood out in that series, Ray, each team hit 7 home runs in the 3-game series. So a total of 14 home runs were hit. Haniger hits one in the air to right center. Seager will tag. It's deep enough. Pinder has it. And Pinder will get it in quickly, but it was good enough to get Seager to third with 1 out. So a productive out for Haniger.
Well, that's when you tag, and that's nobody out. You tag when you see the fly ball. So Haniger getting the fist pump for doing the job, getting the ball to the right side. You know, the best part of the first inning for Andrew Triggs was striking out Gene Segura. Kind of took away the running opportunity for D. Gordon, and then he ended up getting out of the inning, trying to do the same thing now. The infield is going to play in. Ground ball pitcher that Triggs can be. Also the sweeping breaking ball, maybe get the strikeout that he's looking for.
And he's facing Zunino, who has lots of power, but he also strikes out a lot. So opportunity there for Triggs to do just that and get the big second out. Zunino back from the disabled list. He had an oblique strain. So 1-1 the count. The Mariners were without Healy, Gamble, and Zunino the last time that these two teams played. That's different now. They get their full lineup. Toward left. Joyce hustling over, and he can't get it. It's over his head. Seager will head home, and Zunino with the double, and we're tied at 1. So a couple of balls just out of the reach of the outfielders for the A's.
Look how slowly this ball is thrown. It stayed right in the middle of the plate, and Zunino very strong at 77. You want that pitch to be a big sweeping breaking ball away from the right-hander. But you're right, just out of the reach of Joyce in left field. Right there, reaching, could not get it. And it's going to be an easy double for Zunino. But well, if you throw the slider to a right-hander, you throw it hard. And Zunino out on his front foot and still almost hit it out.
Pitch Gas brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company. And here's Ben Gamble. Healy to follow. So Zunino gets his 8th RBI. So second inning struggles here tonight for Triggs. But speaking of that Mariners lineup, Ray, last Thursday in Cleveland was the first time that Scott Service had his lineup all together. It was the 24th game of the year when he finally got it together. He's pretty happy about being able to throw it out there now. Gamble hits one down the left field line. Joyce hustling over, and did he catch it? He did. Sensational play by Matt Joyce. He gets up, gets it in quickly, and that's the second out.
Wow. What a play. Andrew Triggs with the cheering, but Matt Joyce giving up his body, and remember, it was he who was chasing the Zunino ball. This ball slicing away from him.
That's a fair ball.
It was a fair ball, exactly. And a great play, just gave it all out and then hit hard, but maybe hitting the ground hard, but then got underneath. There's concrete right under the fence, right there, and he banged into it. Came up with it and saved extra bases and a run. Tremendous play.
So 2 outs for Healy. Healy takes a first pitch slider for a strike. Healy was on the disabled list, hurt his ankle a little bit. He was on there just for the 10 days. Toward Canna, over in a little bit, and that'll do it. But a run on a couple of doubles for the Mariners, so we're through 2 from Safeco. It's a 1-1 game.
Beat the streak today. Sounds like fun, Kai.
Beat the streak.
You could beat the streak. 5.6 million large. Large. That's a #1 draft choice in June.
Yeah. Pay some bills with that.
Whew.
Pinder to lead it off, followed by Lucroy and Joyce. Right on the outside corner. Good pitch by Felix Hernandez. Hit hard to Segura. That's out #1. So the A's come in right at the 500 mark. So they finished the month of April with, I guess you got to throw in 3 March dates in there, but they finish at 14-14. They're 3-3 on this road trip through the American League West. They're 6-8 on the road. They're 8-12 versus the AL West. So a couple of areas that they got to keep working on.
Yeah.
The road record and the division record.
Okay, I think as we saw in Houston, and we're seeing some pretty good defensive teams. We saw the Astros, the Mariners are pretty good defensively. But if you can improve your defense to where you're not giving extra outs, and you can play a clean game so a pitcher doesn't have as much stress, and especially with an error behind them, you're going to be a better ball club. And I think the A's, being young, are going to improve that much.
And I think they found out yesterday what happens if they play a little bit sloppy against a good team. You don't have a chance.
Exactly. You give them extra outs and they take advantage, and good teams will take advantage of mistakes made by a team.
That one on the outside corner for a strike. So we are into the month of May. Hopefully the weather gets a little bit better. It's not a great weather month in Major League Baseball. April. Cano backs up, and Cano has it. So that's the second out. Here's some of the April leaders. Now again, these numbers do not include the 3 March dates, but you get the idea. Diamondbacks, best record in the National League. Red Sox, best record in the American League. The home runs, Pollock had 9. Didi Gregorius, sensational first month for him. He had 10. Manny Machado, a .367 average. Scherzer and Manaea, we think the 2 top pitchers. Sean Manaea, of course, with the no-hitter. But just some of the numbers from around Major League Baseball after the season's first month. So the best records, the worst records, the Cincinnati Reds, 7-22, including the games in March. Royals 7-21, Orioles 8-20. Those were the 3 worst records. A's will see the Orioles this weekend at the Coliseum.
I'm just looking at the stat pack and club batting, pitching, and fielding. Not surprising, in the pitching and the fielding category, the 2 top teams, Houston, Boston. And of course, Boston leading hitting as well. But if you have pitching and defense, you're going to win a lot of games. And those 2 teams are winning a lot of games.
Well, and yeah, so and when I look at the stat pack, I always look at the pitching and the defense first before I look at the offense, because it's all, you know who the good lineups are. Absolutely. You know the teams that are scoring a bunch of runs.
Matter of fact, the A's are 3rd in the American League in hitting this year. But defensively and pitching about a little bit below half. And the defense, number 11 of 4 to 15, actually 12 of 15. So improve on those 2, and you got a chance to win a lot more games.
That one rolled foul.
John McNamara, many years ago, when he was managing Boston, his comment was, you look every week and you see the top team in pitching and defense, just like you said, you're going to see teams that are top top of your division.
That one is hooked down the right field line, hit well but foul.
You know what it proves, Kai, I think, in that if you play solid defense and pitch, you don't have to score as many runs, and you're going to win games. And you know what's late Dick Williams said about the A's in the 70s, the same thing. We catch the ball, we pitch, don't give extra outs. And when you do that, you're going to win.
2-2 pitch, outside corner, strike 3 called. Joyce in a significant disagreement with Todd Tishner. It looked like it may have been a little bit outside, but it is strikeout number 4 for Hernandez.
To the Space Needle, huh?
Yeah. First pitch to D. Gordon. Toward the gap. Somebody needs to catch it. Nobody does. And it bounces up in the stands. And I say thank you very much. He would have been standing at third.
Standing is right.
But it is a leadoff double for D. Gordon. That ball was hit a long way.
You know, again, he's not throwing the breaking ball. I mean, first of all, location, but 74, the one to Zunino is 77. And if you're capable of throwing it hard, you're going to get more swing and misses over the slider than if you just kind of flip it up at that velocity, and especially leave it up in the zone. Sometimes ground rule doubles are beneficial.
Yep.
Especially with the speed of Gordon. Now you have to be concerned about him stealing third.
So here's Segura. Olson, the first baseman, comes in even with the bag. Segura goes after the first pitch and skies it down the left field line. Well foul. So there's a couple other April things that I need to run by you, Ray.
All right. Is this March and April?
Yeah. It's the season so far.
Season,
how about
yeah,
that?
the season first.
That March thing kind of screwed me all up. So, but I want to run these things by you. I think it's going to be interesting. How about this? There was 343 more strikeouts than hits.
Wow.
There has never been a season in Major League Baseball history, a season, where there has been more strikeouts than hits. The first month of this year,
that's amazing.
343. Again, more strikeouts than hits. Never happened before in Major League history, ever, for a full season. What do you think about that?
I think that's amazing, man. I think they're not swinging hard.
Well, I got more for you, Raymond.
Okay, buddy. Wow.
Segura should reach the seats, and it will. How about this one? Major League Baseball is on pace for 42,500 strikeouts.
I can believe that.
That is 10,000 more strikeouts than 10 years ago.
Oh, my goodness.
It's 2,500 more strikeouts than last year. I'm talking about on pace for.
But it was a record last year for most home runs and most strikeouts in the season.
Got no shot this year.
Wow.
That's total strikeouts all through baseball. And again, that's on pace for.
Which means it's probably going to be more.
Yeah, who knows? Here's another one. 34.6% of all at-bats in the first month ended with a strikeout, a walk, or a home run. Wow. 34.5%.
And usually those are power hitters that either walk, strike out, or hit home runs. Remember, Jack Cuss was that way. Joey Gallo's that way.
But it's
that's amazing.
And the reason it's, I guess it's, yeah, it's interesting, but strikeouts have become a big issue. Look at this. This is Major League history. Most strikeouts in a season. Brewers last year. Brewers the year before. The Rays last year. Padres, Rangers, A's last year. So I think it. I mean, I think it's an issue. Unless you just think striking out is okay, and sometimes it is. That one bounces away from Lucroy. But if you think about that, though, 34%.
That is amazing.
Strikeout, walk, or home run.
Watch this blocked by Jonathan Lucroy, and again, because he blocked it, watch D go on the top of your screen. He starts, sees the ball, and says, nope, can't do it. Ball kicked over towards third. Lucroy, good job of blocking. He did it in the first inning whenever D. Gordon was at first. Lucroy does it here at second.
Two and two to Segura. Chapman, tough little hop. He's got it. He fires across, and he just gets Segura. It's one of those balls, I guess maybe initially it looks like it's hit hard, but it's really not hit that hard.
But a tough hop, and the problem for Chapman is he catches the ball in the backhand. He's got to look the runner back, at least look at him. Otherwise, D. Gordon, if you don't pay attention, he looks him back just enough, and then He's got to throw a bullet across the diamond because Segura can run fast. So he does accomplish what he's trying to do, and that is to keep the runner at second.
So now Cano hits. Cano hit a deep drive to right center field that Pinder hauled in right at the warning track.
Well, Sunday in Houston, Matt Chapman put on a clinic, and how about this play? Ball past him down the left field line. Instead, it's an out. Gurriel couldn't believe it. Tremendous play by Matt Chapman to Matt Olson, and just another ho-hum play by the A's third baseman. It's amazing some of the plays he makes. It you kind of expect it now.
You know what you do, and he really hasn't been in the big leagues that long.
No, he
but
hasn't.
You do expect it.
Yeah.
You don't expect him to miss any plays.
Cano didn't like the pitch.
So 1-1 the count to Cano.
Yeah, I tell you how much Matt Williams appreciates Matt Chapman. Two guys who can play some outstanding third. Of course, Matt Williams, we know what he did as a great career. But I asked him about comparing. He said that's a disservice to Matt Chapman.
About what? Oh,
about comparing.
Well,
you know,
Matt was great. He didn't have the arm that Matt Chapman has.
Right. It's a quick release.
Yep.
Got the ball over. Brooks Robinson didn't have a strong arm either, but he caught it and threw it as quickly as anybody. But Matt Williams, man, said, "Hey, this kid's special. Matt Chapman is special." And he said, as time goes, we're going to be able to say we were honored to watch this kid play every day. And I think he's exactly right.
2-1 pitch to Cano. That's outside. I think the arm is the difference. If you think about guys that have won Gold Gloves recently, Longoria, he's very good in the field, but he didn't have a great arm. Machado, he always sidearm flicked it over there, accurate and everything.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I just think those guys are all very, very good. Beltre, very good, but nobody has an arm like Chapman had. Chapman, I mean, in all honesty, he has a pitcher's arm.
He does. Well, he throws 100.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see him on the mound just to see what his velocity
You never will, because they do not want to take a chance. It's not Lombardozzi who pitched last night for Nashville when they were hammered. But, you know, Matt Williams threw out the name of Nolan Arenado. Well, the two played together in high school. But Matt Williams said he is the Nolan Arenado of the American League when it comes to outstanding defensive third baseman, Gold Gloves.
And Arenado does not have
that
arm like Chapman had. He catches absolutely everything.
But the thing about Chapman, because of the strong arm, like you said, if he catches it with his arm, the rest is history. He can complete the deal as well as anybody.
Good battle here, 3-2 to Cano. He fouls it left side.
That was a great split screen showing the veteran Matt Williams and first year '87 pro ball, and here Matt Chapman.
Well, they look alike.
They do. Yeah, they really do. I tell you, Matt Williams really enjoys being back in uniform.
Well, you know what? We're glad he's here.
Absolutely. Looks great in green and gold, too.
Nelson Cruz waits in the on-deck circle. Gordon led off this inning with a double. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
And, you know, Cap, it looked like that time Robinson Cano, with his 14 runs batted in, even though Cruz in the on-deck circle is thinking, I'm going to drive this run in. Look at this ball, just keeps running away. He picked it up maybe late, realized at that point it was a strike, and then it just kept running. He had no chance to reach it, even to make contact. So great pitch by Andrew Triggs, almost the point I think, Cap, they might have been pitching around him. And if they walked him, take a chance with the big man, hitting it into a double play. And of course, Nelson Cruz can hit him as far as anybody.
I wonder too, Ray. Remember the strike called on Cano that was a little bit outside, and he didn't like the call. Maybe he's worried about getting called out.
That's a good point.
I mean, you do see hitters, if a strike gets called, that maybe they don't think it's a strike, but they will then swing at that pitch the next time. Although that one was quite a ways outside.
Well, one thing Triggs needs to do with Nelson Cruz is not throw the slower type slider. He's got to throw it hard to get on top and try to run it away from him as much as possible like that. May 16th last year, that was here that Nelson Cruz against Andrew Triggs, and there's your fastball, and that's a home run right of center. The very strong Nelson Cruz. And the A's did win 9-6. Triggs gave up just the home run in 6 innings, and that was the only run that he gave up. But I mean, you kind of pick your poison here, who you want to face, whether it's Cano, who struck out, and you got Seager behind Cruz. So it's a pretty dynamic 3-4-5.
In for a strike, 1-1 the count.
Well, while this is a strike, you don't want to leave it here in the future. I mean, that is at 77. Maybe the fact they started a little bit inside and broke in the middle of the plate. But you'd like to throw the hard slider away like you threw to Seager in the first inning. Got him to chase a pitch out of the strike zone. You know, on one hand, you like the aggressiveness of hitters that want to drive in the run, like Cano perhaps did, and of course, the big man in Nelson Cruz. But you also need to pitch accordingly and try to get them to chase pitches that normally they would not be swinging at if there was not a runner in scoring position. Yeah.
So now 1-2.
That was a sneaky fastball that ran away from him, and Cruz just, actually, I'm sorry, it was a slider, a little tight slider, almost like a cutter. Now you can expand a little bit farther away, see if you can get a chase out of him.
Tried it. Cruz watches that one go by.
Even though Seager hit a double in his first at bat, you do not have to think that you have to get Cruz out. I mean, you can play with him a couple of pitches. Scott Emerson looking on to his pitcher.
Belted foul. Ball was quite a ways in off the plate. Cruz way out in front.
Now, if you're the hitter, you're thinking, he just threw me inside. He's wanted to try to get me to go away. And talking about catching the ball out in front. Somebody might have gotten hurt if it hit up in the left field seats.
Inside, he went with that slider. So full count with Seager in the on-deck circle. 1-1 game here in the bottom of the third. Triggs with a look. Gordon not being held. And he just barely got a piece of it on a pitch that was quite a ways outside.
Well, I've always thought that good hitters who like to drive in runs will expand their strike zone. And that's why sometimes it's easier to pitch to them when they are thinking that way.
Outfield playing deep for Cruz. Got him swinging. Stayed with the slider, and Cruz chased it. Side retired. So Gordon has a leadoff double, and he ends up staying right at second base.
his shoe after this big strikeout. There's outside, kind of middle of the plate to give. Got away with one. Goes inside. Watch this last pitch. He throws him right there perfectly down out of the strike zone at 77. The key was the location. Got the job done.
Semien gets one past Seager for a base hit. Seager, even though he had a dive for that, I think he's got that look out there like, I should have had that.
Yeah.
It looked like maybe he dove over top of it a little bit.
Well, the ball came back in on the wheelhouse, and yeah, you're right. He was over the top of it. If he comes up with it with his quick release, got a chance, and maybe playing in just enough thinking about a bunt from Marcus Semien that the ball was able to sneak past him.
So here's Lowry. See if the A's can get something going against Felix Hernandez. Lowry fouls it back to the net.
Marcus Semien asking Alaporta, hey, he's in my way. I'm trying to run. What if I'd gone for a second? He stopped me. That's a defensive liability. You've got to get out of the way. The base runner has the option.
Lowry with a homer in the first, his 7th of the year. He now has 28 RBIs.
A 2-2 count. It looked like Felix just didn't know what to throw him. Tried to go in. The ball ended up in the middle of the plate. And the sound of it was great. And for the right fielder, Haniger ran out of room. So Jed Lowry, number 7, he starts the month of May like he finished April. Got the big hit in Houston, giving 35 hits for the month of April. American League home run leader is 20 for the Athletics.
With 2 outs. How about that?
2 outs. You know the way they're pitching him this at bat and shifting him to the right side, and even though Gamble was playing shallow and left, whole left side of the infield's open. And I remember a couple of years ago, Jed Lowry right to the right of Seager, our left, just a couple of base hits to drive in runs. He just dragged his bat through the zone and took him to left field. He's hit 2 home runs off Felix, so not surprised they're shifting him to the right side. Well, StatCast for Jed Lowry. Launch angle, we could hear it in the dugout. How about that? The maximum height, 127 feet high. Projected distance, 373, 104 miles off the bat.
Semien runs. The ball is bounced to Healy, who's got it. He will step on the bag. You see Seager, who was shifted over. He had to hustle over to get to third to make sure Semien didn't try for third.
Johnny Damon did that against the Phillies in the World Series. They had a shift and he just went to second, kept going to third because nobody was there. Semien with the ball and the contact by Jed Lowry, he was able to at least know that there was not going to be a play at second.
So see if Chris Davis can give the A's the lead back. First pitch is a bit low. Davis struck out in the first. There's Davis 0 for his last 11.
We saw the Astros bunching towards the middle, and this is a team also with the outfield, the way they bunch, kind of give up the lines. Chris Davis's power, he can go line to line without any problem. Straight up defense pretty much except for Cano at second. Now look at the outfield. You see how they're bunching more towards the middle. A lot of, especially left field. Gamble's way over in left center. A little different than Minute Maid Park with Crawford boxes.
Nice block by Zunino. That one bounced quite a ways out in front of home plate.
Hey, Cobb, did you notice those blue circles? They moved as the infielders moved. Did you see that? That's pretty special, right?
It's our special little treat this year.
Yeah, I thought maybe they'd be stationary, but man, I saw Cano move. This blue circle went with it. It's pretty special.
Strike on the outside corner, 2-2 the count. Matt Olson will be next. Felix Hernandez has 4 strikeouts so far, 3 coming in the first inning. He's walked 1.
A lot of credit to Felix Hernandez because he was at one time very heavy, lost a lot of weight, and he's kept his weight off and continue to pitch and make adjustments necessary for a pitcher, especially someone who's been around as long as he has.
And he got him swinging. Chris Davis chased the ball. He strikes out for the 2nd time.
Well, it looks like a splitter and hard changeup, and that ball just disappears. And if you're aggressive, as hard as he throws it, that is a changeup. At one time at 91, that was about 85, 86. And I think it's the arm speed that gets hitters to swing at it. And in case of Chris Davis swung at the motion, the pitcher was in the dirt.
You see Felix Hernandez ERA coming into this start. It's 4.96. So you're thinking, well, that's pretty high. But if you look at his starts, he had one really bad one. He gave up 8 earned runs in 4 innings in San Francisco. Outside of that, the rest of his starts have been pretty good.
Yeah.
So one start really kind of jacked up his ERA, and he has not had enough time to kind of wiggle that ERA back down, which he will.
As a starter, he will. You're exactly right. As a reliever, that's tough.
One pitch toward left center. Gamble is over there. He's got it, and the A's strand Marcus Semien at second base. Bottom of the 4th coming up. It'll be Seager, Haniger, and Zunino. Moments in Oakland. Now we want the fans to pick the most memorable moment in a season-long promotion. Tonight it's Grant Balfour setting the A's record for consecutive saves in 2013 versus Ricky Henderson getting traded back to Oakland. It was June 22nd of 1989 when that trade occurred. Fans vote through our A's Twitter poll. The play that wins advances to face the next memorable moment.
And you think about that date, Kite, that was the year, the last time the A's won a world championship. Ricky was reacquired by the Athletics.
Kind of the final piece, I would guess.
Absolutely.
Although there was a pretty good team before he got there. That's my partner Ray Fosse right there, getting his neck re-injured by Captain Salvando. As John Cougar Mellencamp likes to say, hurt so good, right, Ray? Hurt so good.
Yeah, there's a world championship, so yeah, it had to
hurt, but it really didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Hurt the next day.
I really didn't feel it, but it was nice. be on the dog pile at the end of the World Series.
Popped up. He's got numerous players there. It'll be Lowry. And Jed has it. Well, it's still amazing to believe that the Seattle Mariners have never won a World Series, and they've never been to the World Series, and that is one of those things that really, until you do, it's going to just sit there, and it's going to be the big elephant in the room.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not fun.
How about when they win 116 in 2001? That was the A's the wild card winner.
So they are sitting on 16 consecutive seasons without going to the postseason. So
postseason.
So that's not even what you and I are talking about.
Exactly. They're talking about just a play in October.
It is still hard to believe it because they've really had some good teams and they've had good payrolls or high payrolls and good players. And they just have not been able to get themselves to the postseason. They won 87 games in 2014, came up just a little short. The A's beat them out right at the end. Remember, Ray? We were sitting in Texas kind of waiting for the A's to win it and secure the wild card. 2016, they won 86 games. They made 4 postseason appearances in their 41 years of being the Mariners, all under the great Lou Piniella. So he's pretty well liked up here for obvious reasons.
Really liked in Cincinnati when they went wire to wire in 90. Was it Lou was traded to the Tampa Bay Rays for
Randy Witt?
Randy Witt, exactly.
I think Lou wanted to go back home, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Manny Sanguillen for Chuck Tanner.
That's right.
In 76, 77.
Inside. So 3-2 the count to Mitch Haniger.
You know, Andrew Triggs in his last start here, which was his third start of the season, he had an extra day rest in the first inning. He just felt that he made some bad pitches. He's like Zunino, who was not playing in that series, waits on deck, but Andrew Triggs actually is pitching on an extra day's rest. He's pitching on his 7th day, as he pitched last Tuesday, and to be very honest, he's not pitching that badly tonight.
And sometimes that's good, sometimes it's not, right?
Exactly, but you know, he did say leading up to yesterday, and he said, I have to throw on the off day. The day before I pitched, which happened to be an off day, and he said that the nice thing about coming here, because the team was off, the Mariners weren't playing, that he was able to keep his routine with his weight work and then come out and play catch and throw and be ready to go for tonight. So it's all a matter of a routine, and players like to get in the routine.
Here's Mike Zunino, who had a RBI double in the 2nd inning.
Well, if pitcher catcher learned anything from Zunino in his first at bat, you don't throw him anything soft, because he's strong enough to make an adjustment and fool him out on the front foot, but still be able to drive the ball the way he did.
That one inside. Haniger has 1 steal. He's 1 for 2. As a team, the Mariners have 17 stolen bases. That's the 2nd most in the American League.
What did the 2 players have? 15?
Yeah.
Segura and Gordon.
They've been an interesting group, though, offensively in the early going, Ray. They have the fewest strikeouts and the fewest walks.
Like that. Andrew Triggs last inning struck out Cruz and Cano. Robinson Cano before Cruz. Cruz chasing the slider out of the strike zone. Cano chasing the fastball out of the strike zone. Both 3-2 counts.
Inside, and now it's 2-2. Triggs. Looks like he's working that inside corner on Zunino. Maybe setting up a pitch outside. That's a good guy for Ryan Healy to talk to.
Absolutely. Just a question whether Robinson Cano will listen.
Got him swinging, and he did go away. Hey, how about this? Big news today. Major League Baseball announced that the Oakland A's and the Seattle Mariners will open next season with a 2-game series in Tokyo, Japan. It'll be March 20th and 21st. How about that? That's big news.
It is big news, and especially Mickey Morbido, the great one, said the team will be leaving Arizona on the 14th.
Oh my goodness!
Spend a week in those two games that you mentioned, and we'll follow a couple of exhibition games, and
wow,
of course getting acclimated. But the one thing, Randy Adamek, who we know always comes in to see us, and he said that unlike in 12, when the Mariners flew back to Phoenix, played 5 exhibition games, started on the road, he said, no. He said, if we're going to do it, he said, we want to be able to have somebody come up here to play the Mariners exhibition, which the Padres are.
And then open at
home. Then open at home.
That's fair. That's right, because they were gone. Then they didn't even get to come back to Seattle, right?
No, they went straight to Phoenix and continued spring training,
right.
whereas the A's, as they will do next year, went to the Bay Bridge Series, played there, and then started the season. But the really amazing thing in 12, King Felix started against the A's in 3 opening days. In Tokyo, Oakland, and Seattle.
Well, that's exciting, though. I mean,
yeah, it's very exciting.
It will be the 2 games will be considered 2 A's home games, so the A's will play 2 fewer games at the Coliseum next year.
But you know, we cannot forget what happened to the A's in 12. It was a team that nobody thought was going to win, and all of a sudden they won on the last day of the season. And Bob Melvin points to that trip to Tokyo as being one that kind of brought the team together because they were together for that solid week.
So it will be a much different spring training for the A's, but a wonderful experience.
Yeah, if you leave on the 14th of March, that means spring training is probably going to start about February 1st.
Wow.
Just because they have to get ready to start and play games in Arizona and then be able to start the season in Tokyo on the 20th of March.
That one bounced, and it is fair. Olsen picks it up, trots to the bag, steps on the bag, side retire. So a walk, no damage done, and we are on to the 5th inning here in Seattle. It's a 1-1 game.
Baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
Beautiful night in Seattle. 1-1 game. A's Mariners top of the 5th inning.
You been on that kite?
Yeah, I have.
Is it fun?
Yeah.
Look out over the water.
It's fun if you don't look down. Whew. It is. It's beautiful.
It's Beautiful shot as long as we're watching it here.
Yeah, they're enclosed. Don't worry.
Oh, they are?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's even better.
Yep.
That looks like a lot of fun for you.
I've done it once.
That's all you needed to do was one time.
Yeah. 2-0 to Matt Chapman. Canna and Pinder to follow. He's got their run in the first on Lowry's home run. Felix has been pretty good. He's given up just the 2 hits. He's had 60 pitches.
Hey, the play of the game might be the ball that Chapman hit in the second inning, because that could have been second and third. Nobody out. Seager turned it into a 5-4-3 double play, and Felix very quickly got out of the inning.
And it's a leadoff walk. Good start for the A's. It's the 3rd time in this game the A's have had their leadoff man aboard. So time to take advantage of that.
I just wonder now that Felix Hernandez, Mark Canna, the masked man, stepping in, but you have to wonder at times now. Felix at one time was a rare back, a lot of different types of pitches and strikeout hitters. Now he may be more of a type of a pitcher who does this. He pitches maybe carefully to a potential power hitter, not afraid to put him on, especially if he can get a ground ball to get 2. And that's what has made him a very good pitcher over his career, because he's been able to make changes. But still, that elusive postseason for King Felix.
Yeah, listen, I mean, coming into the start, 26 strikeouts in 32 innings, so he can still do it if he has to. But
yeah,
this would be a spot where you try to sink the ball a little bit.
Exactly, and he has the type of pitches to be able to do that. But you're right, and you can see the percentage of ground balls, and
see, that's interesting. Yeah. You would hope for his sake that it would be going in the opposite direction.
Yeah. But you know that when he had the 57%, I mean, you're looking at that turbo sinker on a changeup, and guys just, if they make contact, they beat it to the ground.
Yeah, you're right. That splitter, changeup, whatever he was throwing, it really was like a sinker.
And I remember Mark Ellis, and we saw with Chris Davis swinging at the 3-2 changeup that was in the dirt. That was at about 85. Well, Mark Ellis said it's about 90-91.
Yeah.
And you look at a 4-seam fastball, that a changeup that he was throwing that velocity, very difficult to hit, make solid contact. But he's had a lot of innings in that arm.
Yep. It's his 13th year in the big leagues.
Perfect location, only 90 miles per hour with his best fastball, but really he doesn't need much more than that. Because the changeup he throws, and he may throw it now, throws it hard. Zunino does a good job of blocking those pitches, and it's a very effective pitch for Felix.
Runner goes, the ball's ripped foul down the third baseline. No surprise that Felix Hernandez is on top of most of the Seattle Mariners pitching leaderboards. 163 wins ahead of Jamie Moyer.
Well, that's called longevity. I mean, Felix has been his whole career. Jamie Moyer back and forth, but Zunino got hit in the backswing by Mark Canna. They pulled the ball foul. Bang. That's why you wear a helmet. You know, when Chapman was running on the ball that was fouled by Canna, Felix didn't even look at it. That's why it had it stolen, but nothing Canna could do except just try to stay alive. See if he runs now in 3-2. Probably be paid a little bit more attention by Felix, since it is 3-2 in a possible running situation.
Chapman runs. Strike 3 called. Throw to second in time. So Canna called out, and that's a strike him out, throw him out, double play.
Well, the ball bounced, but sometimes you get rid of it quickly. That's what Zunino did. He threw it, skipped, and there was Cano with a knee on the ground to be able to catch the ball and apply the tag.
So just like that, the leadoff walk is wiped out. taps one up the third base line, and Seager, right at the last minute, lets it go foul.
Cano with the knee on the ground. He catches the ball, applies a tag on the left elbow before the hand got on the bag. Zunino, I mean, he did his job, and he got rid of it quickly and gave Cano a chance to make the play. And really, it's the catcher's job to get rid of it as quickly as possible, no matter how you throw it. And the middle infielder needs to catch it. And you'd like to see a middle infielder on a ball like that at least not be down on one knee so that he's depending just on the glove to catch it.
0-1 to Pinder. Pinder bounced out to the shortstop in the third inning. Stephen Piscotty getting the night off. He is, I think this is the second game that he has not started.
Yeah, that's the manager about it. He said a little bit under the weather. So he came out on the bench, but not in uniform at the beginning or during the stretch portion, and was in the clubhouse. So it's more of being a little bit under the weather, I think, than not really playing, but starting to swing the bat better, getting acclimated a little bit more to the American League, changing leagues.
Bounces and foul. But if you got Pinder, it doesn't hurt a lot to
stay away from him.
Stay away.
Scotty. You know, yeah, stay away. If he's under the weather, stay away from him.
I'm not going to talk to him. He's a nice guy, but
he's a great guy. Hey, how you doing from afar? This is Chad Pinder on Sunday in Houston against Joe Smith. Dropped down. He knew it was gone. See him drop the bat way up over. But unfortunately, not enough. As the Astros took advantage of mistakes by the A's late.
Strike 3 called, and that'll do it. So a couple more strikeouts. 7 now for Felix Hernandez in 5 innings.
One of the most successful movies in cinematic history. It's called Black Panther. Oakland A's and Marvel are proud to release a glow-in-the-dark Black Panther bobblehead in honor of Oakland and hometown director Ryan Coogler. Fans can snag this one-of-a-kind bobblehead Saturday, May the 5th. That's against the Orioles coming up this weekend. It's brought to you by Comerica Bank. You want 15,000 fans to get yours upon entering the ballpark. Visit athletics.com/promotions to grab your piece of Oakland history.
The Baltimore Orioles.
That's right.
Coming to town. Orioles struggling. Looked at them a little bit today, Ray, and they're all banged up. Jonathan Scope is out. Beckham is out. Trumbo was out. I think they activated him today. Pitching staff's getting knocked around.
But you know, Kai, if you think about the Orioles coming in, is similar to the White Sox and the Red Sox. It was a week-long series. This will be a weekend plus Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday against Houston. The important thing is to play well against the Orioles because they know what the Houston Astros are going to bring.
That's right.
When they come to the Coliseum for the first time, first of 3 trips. So really it's important to win as many as possible, not take anybody lightly, and try to win games that maybe you're supposed to win. Right now, Andrew Triggs is doing exactly what the A's had hoped, and had a good pitching performance from Sean Manaea last time the A's faced the Mariners and Felix on Sunday. Manaea 7 innings in that game, and the A's won just 2-1. He will pitch the final game of the series. See, that's more of a full beard look instead of that mustache that he had.
Yeah.
You know, it's a better look. See, that's a full.
He looks a lot tougher.
Yeah, full grown.
One and one to Gordon. Simeon, the throw, not in time. Lee Gordon's 3 for 3. How about a bunt hit, a double off the wall in deep right center, and an infield hit?
Well, Simeon made a nice play with a normal base runner, but Lee Gordon's not a normal base runner. And I don't think he's going to waste any time this time with Segura out. Because they're 1 out, and he's not leading off, which he did in the first 2 at bats for him, first and third, led off with the single and the double, but did not attempt a stolen base.
Segura, a strikeout and a ground out. Dee Gordon last year in Miami had 60 steals. He doesn't, at least in the times we've seen him this year, Ray, and we'll see him a lot, he doesn't give up the fact that he's stealing either. It doesn't. Some guys you could tell when they're going to go. Hitters, most seasons with 200 or more hits, 50 or more stolen bases. Hey, Ty Cobb's on there, man.
How about Lou Brock with 7? Lou Brock with 3,000 plus hit.
You don't even like. You see Ty Cobb's name, then you just stop right there. Well, that's good. We're good.
Lou Brock, Ty Cobb, and then Dee Gordon.
Not running, and he'll go there now. And that'll be a wild, wild pitch.
As we often say, just the fact that someone is there possibly thinking about stealing can do this. You just overthrow, and Jonathan Lucroy had no chance, set up kind of inside and pitch way outside. Thing is, if it goes to the backstop, you better hurry and get it because he may not stop at second.
So Lowry now, the second baseman, he's got to do what he can to keep Gordon close. Strike, 2-1. Inside, speaking of 200 hit season, Segura's got one. Hit 203 hits in 2016, his only year in Arizona. He was part of that big trade between the Mariners and the Diamondbacks, which kind of a blockbuster at the time.
That's right.
It was Taijuan Walker could tell Marte as the pitch is outside.
Yeah, this pitch, if we get a chance to look at it, looked like it's kind of down the middle. I think Gene Segura thought it was a strike, and it was. Matter of fact, look at Segura. Oh, okay, yeah, I get to go.
Yeah, you're right. Segura thought it was a strike.
Yeah, he did, because he didn't move.
Huh. So 2 on, 1 out for Cano. So that trade, Ray, was Taijuan Walker, the pitcher, and Ketel Marte, who has done a good job for the Diamondbacks, for Mitch Haniger and Gene Segura.
Wasn't Segura originally an Angel?
Yeah, that's right.
He went to what, Milwaukee?
To Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I want to say, man, well, I don't remember. He came up as a minor leaguer with Milwaukee. He played in the big leagues with the Brewers for. But the Mariners, you get Segura and Haniger.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good deal.
Yes, it is.
And Taijuan Walker is out for the year. Tommy John surgery. That's right. Remember when Zach Greinke went?
Yep.
So Segura was part of that deal. And I forgot that Zach Greinke was with the Angels because it was a very short time.
Yeah.
A little bit outside, 2-0 to Cano. So Triggs getting himself in a little bit of trouble here.
Remember when Bill Miller was behind the plate when Zach Greinke threw a ball that went right through the catcher and hit Bill Miller right in the stomach or in the chest protector. So the stressful inning is right now because put a couple of guys on with 1 out and then the middle part of the batting order.
Swing and a miss. 88 miles an hour. Cano probably trying to figure out how he missed that one.
Well, he had everything going, and you're right, it was right there, and maybe simply the fact that we saw his belt buckle.
Yeah, and that doesn't happen very often with him.
Trying to pull it because that was a pitch for him to shoot it to the opposite field, and as a result, the defense is playing him accordingly. You have to play him straight up, is what the outfield is doing. Infield slightly to pull, but he does use the whole field as well as anybody.
Center field and deep. Canna's back. Canna's near the wall, and Canna leaps against the wall, and he caught it. You better get it in quickly. D. Gordon tags up. He rounds third, and he stops at third.
I think when Robinson Cano hit that ball, I think he thought he hit a 3-run home run. He swung, he dropped the bat, and it started to get a little bit cooler. And maybe it was knocked down, but great play by Mark Canna going back. Starting to think about jumping, did not need to. And you're right, D. Gordon was tagging all the way. And with his speed, tagging, he could go 180 feet as quickly as 90.
Well, what it does is if there's any juggle by any fielder with the ball coming back in, Gordon's going to just keep going.
Yeah.
So 2 outs and a big at-bat here as Nelson Cruz steps in. And Cruz hits one high and deep left center field. Canna, it doesn't have to leap. It is gone.
You can only get away with pitches so long. You got one that almost goes out, and this one that did go out. And look where the pitch is. Right center cut, belt high slider. When he hit it, he dropped his bat thinking he had it. And this time he was right. Into the party deck. And that's a big, big blow, but a mistake by Andrew Trigg, and it probably cost him.
So 6th home run for Cruz.
And you know, you think about the walk to Segura, who he thought was strike 2 at least on the slider. Andrew Triggs, pitchers no. Pitchers no.
Yeah, that one just kind of sat up there right in the top of the strike.
Yeah, and you know, Cap, we've talked about it before. You take power hitters, they're mistake hitters. You make a mistake, they don't miss them. You're fortunate when they do, but especially breaking pitches that really don't break as much as you hope they do are going to.
Since 2012, Cruz has hit 24 home runs against the Athletics. Yeah, how often does a good pitcher's pitch get hit out of the ballpark? Hardly ever.
No. You know, that's why some of the great home run hitters take advantage of mistakes. And I mean, you think about in the course of Lou Trevino loosening quickly for the Athletics. If you think over the course of a season, and again, just the simple math, the everyday player, play 150 games, you go to the plate 4 times, there's your 600 plate appearances. You're going to get 40 mistakes. I mean, if you're a power hitter, home run hitter, you're going to get 40, at least 40 mistakes. It's just a matter if you're able to hit those. You may get 100 and you get 40 out of it.
3-2 now to Seager. Seager thought maybe it was ball 4.
A third home run given up by Andrew Triggs. A 2-run shot by Upton. The Moncado slam against the White Sox, and this one a big blow, a 3-run shot. And it seems tonight for Andrew Triggs, the slider has not been thrown as sharply as we've seen. He did to Cruz to strike him out 3-2 the previous at bat. And he tried to go back to the well, and this time got burnt.
Pitch misses outside. Seager with the 2-out walk. So Scott Emerson's going to come out and chat with Triggs, who's at 85 pitches, 4 2/3 innings. That home run by Cruz, just the 3rd home run that Triggs has allowed this year in 27 innings. So Trevino, he should be about ready.
Was that the phone?
Is that
In
your
the bullpen?
phone? It wasn't my phone.
I think it was the bullpen. Great microphone down there.
So Haniger is hit by the pitch.
Well, that unfortunate after a visit by Scott Emerson. This time Bob Millman's going out and Trevino will be coming in. He just got under it and they just kept running inside, got him in the rib cage.
So 4 2/3 innings tonight for Triggs. And when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and repair experts.
Night of summer fireworks is presented by Lagunitas. Plus, the A's have teamed up with Star Wars for a special Star Wars and Matt Olson themed bobblehead. Special tickets are required to receive the bobblehead. It's a good one. Clear your calendar to be one of the ballpark on Friday, May the 25th against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Enjoy Oakland's best fireworks with a Star Wars twist. Visit athletics.com/Star Wars to get started today. Having one here too. I saw it on their big jumbotron here about Star Wars, so they're making the tour. And Lou Trevino still with the club trying to get out of this inning, traded by just 3.
4 games, he's been good. 9 strikeouts in 5 2/3 innings. Lou Trevino, hard throwing right-hander. Seager at second, Haniger at first. Zunino is the hitter. First pitch fastball at 98 miles an hour.
There's your Xfinity. Wow. Good hitter. He actually had Jonathan Lucroy go through the signs again. It's Andrew Triggs, 86 pitches. His runners at first and second.
Pop up foul. So Trevino jumps ahead 0-2. A's will have to make a roster move tomorrow with Brett Anderson joining the club and starting tomorrow. Anderson is here.
Yes, he is. Maybe Juan Dorado can tell us, huh? He's in the back. Good to have him back with us.
Juan knows everything before it really happens.
By the way, we just showed the wild pitches, and how about blocks? Because Jonathan Lucroy has done a good job tonight. And the one wild pitch, he couldn't get a glove on it. It was so far past it. Andrew Triggs got a no decision then start that he made back a couple weeks ago.
Good fastball, 97 for the strikeout, but a big home run by Nelson Cruz, a 3-run shot. Mariners 4, A's 1 after 5. All-Star Teacher Program, recognizing teachers that make a difference. Visit NBCSportsCalifornia.com and vote. The winner receives $20,000 for his or her school. Good-looking city, Seattle, Washington. Mariners 4, A's 1, 6th inning, so a little work to do for the Athletics against Felix Hernandez. Lucroy, and then the top of the order, Joyce and Simeon. Angels leading the Orioles 2-0 in Anaheim, top of the 7th inning. It's Cobb and Tropiano, the two starting pitchers in that game. The Angels will be here in Seattle over the weekend.
Yeah, they said that kid named Otani may be pitching this weekend. He had to be scratched because of the blister. He is scheduled to pitch sometime this weekend, according to Mike Social.
Yeah, he was in their lineup tonight. See where the Angels put Keenan Middleton on the disabled list today. Elbow bothering him a little bit.
Yeah, he throws too hard.
Yeah. Angels trying to break a 4-game losing streak. A little bit inside.
But they're happy to get the Yankees out of town.
Yeah.
Yankees in Houston.
Yeah, wait till I tell you what happened in this game, Ray. You're gonna
in Houston.
You're gonna chuckle. Lucroy lines one, foul.
All right, tell me.
So Verlander tonight pitching for Houston goes 8 innings, gives up just 3 hits. He strikes out 14 Yankees. Final score, Yankees 4, Astros nothing.
Are you serious? Charlie Morton last night, what, a 7-inning no-hitter?
Who pitched for New York? Severino?
He's going tomorrow, I think.
Driven in the air to right center, but hanging up for Gordon. That's right, Montgomery, the left-hander, started for the Yankees, but he left after 1 inning.
Huh.
So Verlander was just, as they like to say, punching tickets left and right. But in the end, the Yankees won the game. Sanchez hit a 3-run homer. That was the big difference in the game.
It's a 2-run home run Sunday night. That was the difference. They won 2-1 in Anaheim.
So the Yankees.
He doesn't hit cheap ones either.
No, he does not. Gordon going into left center this time, and he's got it. 2 outs.
Everybody talked about Judge and Stanton, but Sanchez is the guy, at least so far.
Yeah, I was curious what kind of months Stanton and Judge is hitting. He's hitting about 320 for the Yankees. Judge has 7 home runs. Stanton has 5. Stanton has struggled a little bit. Here's Marcus Semien. It's funny, Ray, the Yankees hit 41 home runs in their first 28 games, which is a lot. So they're on pace to hit 237. Now, cold weather, and I mean, I think they're going to probably hit more at a higher pace as the season goes on.
You would think, yeah.
So, do they have a shot to break the all-time home record? It was set home run record. It was set by the Seattle Mariners. Right. They hit 264 home runs, did the Mariners, in 1997. That is the record for most team home runs in a season.
They were talking about the Yankees even before they got Stanton with a possibility.
Sure.
But now that they had him, you got the 2 home run leaders, both leagues, in the American and National, with Judge and Stanton playing together.
And Gregorius has 10.
10,
right?
yeah.
Semien waves at that pitch. Hey, we'll be in New York on our next road trip. A little bit low, so 3-2 to Marcus. He's with just 2 hits so far in the game. Roll foul. Pitch count at 88 for Hernandez.
April the 15th, he went 6 1/3. 97.
just missed inside. Simeon takes the 2-out walk.
Time now for the Built for Baseball. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. Jed Lowry, first inning, 2-2 pitch. Just like he did on April the 15th against Felix. First inning, a 2-run shot. This is solo. Get the A's on the board. 7th home run for Jed. 6th home run against a right-handed pitcher. He just had the 2-run home run against the lefty Avalon of the White Sox. That was on that long afternoon at the Coliseum. Seems like forever ago. It was not that long ago. 2 weeks from tomorrow. Stay hot, Jed.
It's Robinson Cano out there in shallow right. Hit hard right to Healy, right near the bag, steps on the bag, side retired. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Mariners 4, A's 1.
Dates can participate in the 50-50 raffles presented by Sutter Health. Tickets are sold from gates opening through the last out of the 6th inning from raffle sellers or at the kiosk at section 217. The winner will be announced in-game and will receive 50% of the jackpot, with the remainder benefiting the A's Community Fund. Learn more at athletics.com/raffle. That's a big deal. Somebody, I think in 20 grand somebody just won. I think it was Houston.
Yeah, bigger the crowd.
Yeah,
the bigger the jackpot.
I think it's over 20,000. Somebody came to enjoy the game maybe for the first time ever. Walked home with 20 grand.
A lot of ballparks are doing it. It really is a pretty good idea.
It's a great idea. It's great.
Simple.
It's a win-win. Somebody's going to win. You don't have to spend a lot of money and get a chance to go home with a big jackpot. In this case, the A's Community Fund benefit.
You know, Ray, I feel like I hit the jackpot every night working next to you.
Yeah, right. Wow. And if you believe that, I got some swampland to sell you.
Yeah. I don't know why. I just felt like saying that.
Well, that's very kind of you, but yeah. You go right on the Ferris wheel.
Jackpot City. 2-2 to Ben Gamble.
I think Luke Trevino is showing that he just blew away Zunino to end last inning. That was a couple of runners on. Now he starts fresh with his own inning.
Down the left field line. Long run for Joyce. Foul. Bounces up into King's Court.
But it is nice when Trevino came into the Wednesday game at the Coliseum, the one that lasted almost 6 hours, 14 innings, got the win. And going to Houston, some of the Astros were watching and said, who is this kid throwing this hard?
Yeah.
Well, it's Luke Trevino, and they got a chance to see him, and the rest of baseball, at least the American League is, and it's just one of those kids who proved that given the opportunity, he's going to take advantage of it. He's trying to do exactly that.
So what does he do, Ray? He drops a little slider in there, and it's a base hit to right field.
And it's a hanger.
Well, Authentic Fan Fridays are back, but in a brand new area. The Ace Treehouse, right behind section 234. Friday, the first 500 fans that show up get an authentic A's fan retro jersey. Giveaways start at 6 p.m. Then stay for our pregame show. Check it out. All fans can pick up one of our collector series cheer cards. This week it's Chris Davis. We like to call him Crush Davis. For details, log on to NBCSportsCalifornia.com.
Some great Oakland artists, the local artists. That's pretty neat. You have to show off their wares.
Chapman, what a play. Out at second. Lowry, the throw to first. Not quite in time.
Well, that is such a tough play for any infielder, but Chapman charging, knowing that he had to catch the short hop right there, and then threw it to Jed Lowry, who had to reach back to his right. He comes across the bag and able to handle the ball without having to reach back to his right. Not going to be able to turn a double play, as Ryan Healy was robbed. But in reality, Matt Chapman didn't have much time to try to set himself and make a strong, perfect throw.
There's Gordon. Gordon is 3 for 3. 2 singles, a double, and a run scored. That one's grounded into right field, a base hit. Healy is going to round second. He's going to try for third. Pinder's throw is cut off. And the Mariners have first and third. And that pitch right there, Ray, that was not a strike.
Yeah, I know.
And Gordon, he kind of has this ability. Watch where this pitch is. It's 6 inches off the plate.
Almost hit his kneecap. And yeah, able to turn on it. That's a 96-mile-an-hour fastball from Trevino, and with that hole between first and second. And Pinder made a strong throw, and you know what? The key there was that it was down, and Gordon couldn't go to second, yet the ball was cut off. I think that's why Pinder was down in the catching position, kind of wondering, you know, it's one thing if you airmail the infielder, but you keep it low, and you can just kind of fake like you're going to catch it, let the ball go through, maybe take a chance to get the runner going to third.
So here's Segura with 1 out. He's need a ground ball. Gordon runs. The ball is drilled to right field. Healy tags. Healy's got it, and the throw to first, and he gets back just in time, and Healy comes in to score. But that's a smart play by Pinder.
Right.
He almost got Gordon, who was running on the pitch.
And you could see from our vantage point that if he had been out of first, Healy doesn't score. And you're exactly right. The shortest distance as Gordon was running and deep enough, but instead of the throw coming to the plate, see Gordon head down. He's trying to steal it, the ball to right field. And all the while, Pinder's idea was to do exactly that, throw to first, and just barely getting back was Gordon.
I think Ray Pinder has the best outfield arm of anybody on the A's.
Exactly right. And the nice thing about that, he set himself up perfectly, got behind the ball, and first throw that he wanted to make was to first base.
So Segura gets his 22nd RBI to make it a 5-1 game. Pitch is high.
I give Ryan Healy credit going from first to third on the ground ball, because that got him a run.
Robinson Cano is 0 for 3. Keep waiting for D. Gordon to take off again. goes. Got a good jump. Throw to second base is not in time. So D. Gordon gets his 11th stolen base. But he's 0 to 60 in a hurry, isn't he?
0 to 60. Now, Simeon, good job, and that's what you want to see a middle infielder do. If there's no chance, don't let the good ball go into center field. Just find a way to knock it down to keep the runner at least at second base. And with his speed on the infield hit, that's what you did not want to take a chance. And right now, you don't want to take a chance on a 3-0 groove fastball to Robinson Cano.
And it's low. He walked him. So that's 4 walks by A's pitchers so far in this game. And here comes that guy again, Nelson Cruz. Nelson Cruz, a 3-run homer in the 5th inning. Nelson Cruz in his career has 329 home runs now. 31 of those have come against the Athletics. Let's take a look at StatCast on that last one.
Well, there he goes. 30 degrees, 108, 410 feet. How did he do that? See that green? I mean, it just goes up and comes down.
Active home run leaders. Nelson Cruz is 6th. Batista's back in the big leagues with the Braves.
Yeah.
Albert Pujols coming into tonight 4 hits away from 3,000. Now here's Cruz. Right at Simeon. Side retired. But another run for the Mariners. They got a couple of hits and a sacrifice fly. 7th inning coming up. 5-1 Seattle.
Baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
Mariners 5, A's 1. We have reached the 7th inning. And Felix Hernandez is back out there.
One more. Bullpen starting to heat up. I think he can. We'll probably go one more and turn it over to the pen. And, you know, as we always say, if you can go 7 as a starter, set up and a closer, you got a chance to win a lot of games.
Well, Ray, in the Mariners' first 27 games this year, they have had a starting pitcher go 7 full innings one time. It was Mike Leake in his very first start. So that has been an issue for them, having their starters deep into the game. That's Nick Vincent. Their starters are averaging 5.2 innings per start. That is below the league average. So they're looking for innings. So if they could get 7 out of Felix, they'd be thrilled. Yeah. Davis holds up on a pitch that was inside. 6 1/3 innings is the most that Felix Hernandez has gone this year. Chris Davis tonight has struck out twice, swinging both times. Just got a piece of that one to make it 3-2.
Amazing watching Felix Hernandez. He always looks to his right. He's looking at the scoreboard, see what the count is, and did before the 3-1. He knows it's 3-2 now with that pitch, but you could just see the difference in the way he pitches, really based on the count.
That was close. Chris Davis takes the walk.
Fans, you've seen him at the ballpark. Now it's time to wear him on your back. It's the Harvey the Rabbit backpack. Makes its debut Saturday, May the 26th. That's against the Diamondbacks. First 15,000 fans get this awesome giveaway. Presented by Ross Dress for Less. Plus, the A's 50th anniversary season-long celebration continues with a special Swingin' A's celebration. Day dedicated to honoring this special team from the 70s. Make sure you grab your tickets to the special day at athletics.com/tickets. Harvey, I can see Jack taking Harvey the backpack to school.
Maybe.
Any
has to look just right, though.
Yeah, only if he wears his flat bill.
Yeah, everything's got to match. Raleigh Fingers is in the house. Yeah. It's always good to see Raleigh.
Buzzard.
So 1-1 to Matt Olson, who has walked and hit a fly ball to left field. So the A's need a bunch of hits here. So pitch kind of diving away from Olson.
And here goes the shift. They start moving around to the right of second, and Felix is going to throw a pitch outside, and Ole's going to take it to left field. How about that?
Get something going. And he hooks it right field. Fair ball headed for the corner. Chris Davis rounds second. He'll make it to third. Olson's going to have to hurry, and he is safe. So a very close play at second base.
Well, Matt Olson rounded first. It's almost like, okay, I'm started. I better kill. Oh, am I going to keep going? And a perfect throw by Haniger. Did he come off the bag? Maybe the tag wasn't applied because service is coming out, as we'll tell you about that. But check the left hand. It comes up, but the tag wasn't on him at the time it came off. And Segura did not keep the tag on the arm.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. It's your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair expert. So Felix Hernandez, 6+ innings tonight.
every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity. X1 will change the way you experience TV.
So 6+ innings tonight for Felix Hernandez. Gives up 3 hits. 1 run so far. 4 walks, 7 strikeouts. So the new pitcher is the right-hander Nick Vincent.
Couple of appearances back against the A's in the early part of April, actually the 14th and the 15th. Gave up a run. Chris Davis solo home run.
And a little bit of a slow start for Nick Vincent.
Actually, it was a 1 runner on base, 2-run home run. So
an opportunity here for the A's to get back in the game. Mariners 12-0 when their bullpen inherits a lead. Their bullpen's been good. Their closer's been terrific, Edwin Diaz.
Well, Stoudemire Jr., the pitching coach, he's got to be pleased with those numbers. Vincent likes to throw a lot of cut fastballs.
Second and third, nobody out. So Davis led off the inning with a walk and then the Olsen double. Just missed off the plate. Marcano waits. He's hoping to get a shot to drive in a run or 2. Swinging. Nope, 3-2, excuse me. So a 3-1 breaking pitch. How about that?
Boy, you can't look for too much either, because pitchers are different whenever they do come into a game, especially with runners on base out of the bullpen. And if he throws a lot of cutter, don't expect him to throw a 4-seam fastball 3-2.
Got him looking. So big strikeout for Vincent.
That's a perfectly thrown pitch, but one that you got to swing at. And those are the things that young players learn, especially with a couple of strikes. Definitely don't want to be thinking about anything except seeing the baseball.
So now Canna steps up with 1 out. Infield obviously back with a 5-1 lead, so they'll give the A's a run on a ground ball. Although Seager in maybe just a little bit. Now he backs up. Fouled off the mask, so it's Vincent getting ahead of Canna 0-2.
Well, contact, you figure scores a run unless he's back to the pitcher. Get the ball in play.
Foul straight back. Canna had a good swing of that one. And that was probably not where Vincent wanted the 0-2 pitch. It was just up a little bit and right down the heart of the plate.
You're right. And at least Canna was waiting for it 0-2 and not surprised to see the pitch down the middle.
Vincent from the stretch. No swing as they check with Alan Porter down at first.
I think the first base umpire has to be ready, because Zunino, with not even close, but appeals, hey, never know, may get a call, but not going to fool that man.
So 1-2 to Canna. Ground out and a strikeout for the A's center fielder. Up the middle, off the glove of Vincent. Segura can't get it. He slips, and a run's going to come in to score.
And if he does not hit the ball with his hand, he hurt himself, it looks like, but he reached back, Kike, with his hand. Otherwise, the ball goes into left field and another run scores.
You're talking about the pitcher. Segura slipped and fell, so he's staying down.
But it was Vincent deflecting it to Segura, and Segura reached back as he hurt himself, maybe reaching back for the ball. Because it looked like he grabbed his side, but off the glove of Vincent. And watch Segura as he goes over here. See him reach back?
He fell hard on his right side.
He fell hard, and when he hit the ball with the glove, or his hand, if it gets past him, that ball trickles in the outfield, and definitely another run would score. So he kept one from scoring, but I have to see if he's okay, because you're right, he banged hard on the ground. You're right, I think he fell on the right side that hurt him the way it did. But reaching back, and then watch how hard he hits the ground. He sticks his arm out, and maybe by doing that and hitting the ground hard, because he kind of rotated his right arm, which is his throwing arm, but Olson started to go. Segura reaching back, hit his.
Wow, that's how you hurt your shoulder.
Exactly, because he stretched out, and that's why he got it underneath.
So they're going to let Segura have a little extra time. He seems to be okay. So it goes as a Canna base hit and an RBI. So the A's make it 5-2. So this is a ball game now. First and third, and still only one out. Pinder bounces one. Healy's got it. He'll underhand to first, and the Mariners get the out there. Olson comes in to score, so Pinder has an RBI, and now it's 5-3.
Yeah, now get a two-out hit and pull it within one. Nice play by Ryan Healy, because if he doesn't get it, Cano may, but would he be able to throw out the hustling Pinder? But nice play by Ryan Healy. Only played to feed back to first base with Vincent covering.
So Pinder gets his 6th RBI. 2 outs now as Jonathan Lucroy will hit. Lucroy takes a fastball slightly off the plate. And that one called a strike. Lucroy has popped out and hit a fly ball to center field. And another strike, 1-2. So both those runs that the A's have scored here in the 7th inning are charged to Felix Hernandez. So 3 runs, all earned runs. Swing, yes, he struck him out. So the A's get a couple to get back in it. 7th inning stretch time from Seattle. Mariners 5, A's 3. 1991. Ricky Henderson steals career base number 939, passing Lou Brock for the most all time. There it is.
There he goes. Matt Noakes to Randy Velarde. And Ricky, side of the cross, picks the bag up from its moorings, lifted it high as Frank Sinchek. Frank goes out and picks it up. You knew he was going.
Yes, he was.
I am the greatest, but you just heard Muhammad Ali say that. It's Matt Strelo. How young Matt Strelo. Wow. Pretty good career.
25 big league seasons for Ricky Henderson. And it sure is fun seeing him around the ballpark.
Oh yeah, he's a legend. Ricky Henderson Field.
So bottom of the 7th, Danny Coulombe comes in. And it's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and repair experts. So Coulombe comes in for his 11th appearance, facing Seager, Haniger, and Zunino. Seager is 1 for 2, a double, a walk. He has scored a run. Seager was knocked in by Zunino back in the 2nd inning. Pop up down the left field line, but foul. Trevino goes an inning and a third. Gives up a couple of hits and a run with a walk and a strikeout. Full shift on for Seager. Chapman playing the shortstop spot. Swing and a miss on 1-2. So Seager strikes out for the first out here in the bottom of the 7th. How about we hear a little Bill King on that Ricky Henderson stolen base?
And Ricky goes, a pitch taken, he's going to have it. He does. Ricky Henderson, no contest, steals third base, jerks the bag from its moorings and holds it aloft, representing number 939.
Always right on cue, Bill King.
Yep. Every time I see that, though, we just have to give credit to great Lon Simmons, who turned the mic over to Bill King so he could make that call. Call that's heard forever, but it was very simply our good friend Lon Simmons saying, "Take over, Bill."
Why doesn't that surprise us?
Yeah, you're right. But you know, watching that, I think that was Harold Baines hitting. Now, they shifted Harold in the outfield to left field, but they had him pulled to the right. So in today's world, Ricky could have walked to third.
Yeah.
You know,
it would have been his easiest stolen base ever.
There would have been no throw by Matt Noakes to Randy Velarde. Wouldn't have had to, because Velarde wouldn't even have gotten there in time. It's uncontested.
2 outs for Zunino. That's one into the seats, and then it bounces back onto the field.
But we all knew that Ricky was not going to steal 939 on the road. It was going to be at the Coliseum. He wanted his mother there, and just confirmed that recently. He said,
of course,
he was not going to do it on the road. And I mean, it's not like when Hank Aaron hit 715 or 714. You know, he was playing. Ricky, if Ricky didn't want to run, Ricky didn't run.
On the right field line. Pinder over, but it'll go into the seats.
You think of Ricky Henderson, his ability to steal bases, and you see D. Gordon and how few he has compared to the great Ricky Henderson in the course of a season. But I mean, Ricky was Mr. Automatic. Whenever he got on first, he took off. First step, he's full speed. And boy, just see the speed of D. Gordon. You'd think he could steal a whole bunch and not really make anything close.
In the dirt. Yeah, I mean, Ricky was probably attempting well over 100 steals a year, right? He wasn't afraid to get thrown out.
Oh, he stole 119, 131 years. So, no, you're right. I mean, and he always said that the biggest key is to not be afraid to be thrown out. I mean, that's all he ever says. And yeah, these guys get the leads, and he said, so you get picked off, you get thrown out, you get up and go again.
Foul right field.
But, you know, the one thing Ricky says about today, it's a stopwatch. You know, how hard, how quickly does the guy from the pitcher throw to the catcher to second and all that in time. He said the clock takes away so many stolen bases because if a guy is quick to the plate and the catcher has a good arm, maybe the guy doesn't even try to run. Fortunately, when Ricky played, there was no such thing as, well, they always had the stopwatch, but it was mostly the runner going to second.
Pinder again, a long run. And he's not going to quite get there as he goes into a slide, bangs into that side wall.
They did that in Oakland also. Well, see the underneath. Watch the foot underneath. Bang. There's no give. The padding, yes, but it's the piece underneath the padding. I don't think maybe why they don't extend the padding all the way down to the ground. Eliminate a lot of those.
Swing and a miss. So a good inning for Andy Coulombe. A couple of strikeouts, and we are moving to the 8th. It's a 5-3 Mariners lead.
Athletics. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
It's the main entrance to Safeco Field. Dave Niehaus Way and Edgar Martinez Drive. That's the intersection right there, Ray.
Not a bad intersection. One Hall of Famer, maybe one day we'll get in the Hall of Fame. Dave Niehaus and the Fort C. Frick wing, and Edgar trying to get into Cooperstown, the main one.
Juan Nicasio comes in. He is the setup man for the Mariners. Signed as a free agent this past offseason. A big guy and a hard thrower, and he faces the top of the A's order, starting with Matt Joyce. Swing and a miss. The broadcast booth is named after Dave Niehaus.
Nice entrance to the press area, also the press box, or the broadcast area, where they had the great Dave Niehaus and microphone and some huge pictures.
There we are.
That is. Thank you. Thank you, Larry. That's a great. Got his suit, fly away, and on the other side they've got his tape recorder and scorebook. I think last game at Kingdom maybe, but what a great man. Great storyteller. Great Dave Niehaus.
Two pitches fouled straight back.
There it is, the old style. His microphone, recorder, scorebook. My oh my. Introduction to the Cooperstown, and what a story. He was a great man. And there's his statue where people will sit next to the great Dave Niehaus, take their picture with him.
Matt Joyce trying to get aboard. The A's with a couple of runs in the 7th inning to tighten things up. Swing and a miss. So that is 10 strikeouts for A's hitters already in this game.
You know, Matt Joyce might be feeling a little bit of the 6 of 7 lefties. You know, not getting a chance to play a lot. Righty tonight, and Felix Hernandez, and 3 strikeouts. But you're right about Nicasio is the setup man, but we know who's going to be coming in the 9th if it stays this way.
First pitch to Marcus Semien. Sliced foul. Well, remember earlier, Ray, I told you how the Angels put their closer Keenan Middleton on the disabled list. Well, they took a 2-0 lead into the 9th inning at home, and the Orioles scored twice and are still batting. So that is now a 2-2 game at the Big A.
Who'd they try to close with? Obviously not Middleton.
Bedrosian, I believe, who's been pitching pretty well lately, but.
Well, remember they tried him in the closer role. Tried everybody in the closer role last year.
Yes, they have.
And like Parker, Bedrosian, Middleton stepped in, did a great job, and it's amazing how it's tough to be a closer these days.
The Rangers won tonight in Cleveland 8-6. Harder than they thought it was going to be, though. In the bottom of the 9th inning, the Rangers had a 6-2 lead, and Michael Brantley hit a 2-out grand slam to tie the game. And then the Rangers got a 2-run homer by Joey Gallo in the 12th, and they won 8-6. So they ended up winning the game. Had to play a little longer than they probably wanted to.
I thought I heard Tom Hamilton.
Yeah, you did.
Calling the grand slam all the way from Cleveland to here.
2 outs, 2 strikes on Michael Brantley. Wow. And he hit a grand slam. Told you about the Yankees shutting out Houston 4-0. Swinging. So back-to-back strikeouts for Nicasio here in the top of the 8th.
The good hard slider, and he likes to throw it. Low 80s with the slider. Yeah, pretty good tilt. 2 appearances against the A's previously. Back a couple of weeks ago, he gave up home runs to Chris Davis and to Piscotty. Back-to-back appearances. I think you said it best whenever we were here before. Nicasio was signed to be exactly what he's doing now, and that's to be the setup for Edwin Diaz.
His velocity was a little bit down early in the year, but he's starting to get that back.
Yeah, he's tops out mid-90s, which is perfect with a hard slider that he just threw, and change up 3-pitch pitch. You don't need much more than that. 94 heater.
And he jumps ahead of Lowry 0-2. Lowry with the home run in the first, and then a couple of hard ground outs, one in the fourth, one in the sixth. Foul straight back. A lot of good swings from Jed Lowry the first month of the season.
Hey, what were you saying earlier about strikeouts?
A's have struck out 11 times.
Yep. 11 times.
High to right field. Haniger's going back, but he's going to have room as he settles underneath it. Side retired. Nicasio with a 3-up, 3-down 8th inning. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Dealers. For the A's, 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors. For the Mariners, 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Triggs 4 2/3. Hernandez 6+. The biggest hit in the game, a 3-run homer by Nelson Cruz. That was in the 5th inning. That turned a 1-1 game into a 4-1 game, and that is the difference right now, 5-3. The Mariners leading in the bottom of the 8th inning. So it'll be Gamble, Healy, and then Gordon against Danny Coulombe, who had a nice tidy 7th inning. 11 pitches with a couple of strikeouts. Edwin Diaz is warming up out in the Mariners bullpen. In there for a strike. Gamble is 1 for 3. He had a base hit in the 6th inning. So the Orioles got just the 2 in the top of the 9th. So now the Angels will try to win it in the bottom of the 9th. Swing and a miss. Albert Pujols does not have a hit in that game. There's Diaz. He's ready.
How long is the homestand for the Angels? They had 4 against the Yankees.
They got the Orioles tomorrow, and then I think they're done. Go out on the road.
Swing. Check.
Now the Angels, well, they have tomorrow and Thursday. So this is game 1 of that 3-game series against Baltimore. So he's got 2 more shots at home, and then they come here. And there's the walk. Bob Melvin up out of the dugout. He's going to make a pitching change. 5 walks issued by A's pitchers. So Danny Coulombe goes 1 inning plus. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. It's your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. That Nelson Cruz home run in the 5th inning came with 2 outs, a 3-run shot. His 31st career home run against the Athletics. Overall, career home run number 329 for Nelson Cruz. So he's hit a lot of big home runs against the A's over the years. So here is Yusmeiro Petit. So Petit comes in. He's does not have a win or a loss, a 3.07 ERA. He faces Ryan Healy. First pitch to Healy is a fastball right on the outside corner, Ray. Right on the corner. Healy can't believe it.
That is just a bit outside. But that's not too close to take. It's the big leagues.
Tried it again. Why not? Healy is 0 for 3. He reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the 6th inning.
Always had that upright stance, bat on his shoulder, and then goes after usually the pitches outside, the ones he's susceptible to, at least when he's with the A's.
Ryan Healy. Last year, Healy 271 for the A's in 149 games. He had 25 home runs and 78 runs batted in.
And not 1 home run in much of July.
And 29 doubles. Manfred came up in 2016 and was very impressive in 72 games. He went the throw to first and Gamble is back, so it's a strikeout. Healy chased the ball well out of the strike zone. There's the breakdown where he came up second half of the season and he played every day, played third base and did a pretty good job in 2016. And last year for the A's kind of bounced around a little bit. Maybe never was completely comfortable with that, although he never said anything. But the numbers were still pretty good, 25 and 78. And the A's traded him for Emilio Pagan. I think the problem was, Ray, there just was not a place for Ryan Healy to play for the A's.
There was until a kid named Matt Chapman came along.
Yeah, and Matt Olson.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. But when it came up in 16 and Danny Valencia was told you're not going to play third anymore, and Ryan Healy did, played every day. Then Trevor Plouffe was signed last year. Chris Davis played left. Tried to DH him.
And I think the plan all along this year was to have Chris Davis DH quite a bit, and so that eliminated a spot for Healy.
Yeah.
The Mariners, on the other hand, they had an opening at first base.
Yep.
D. Gordon is 4 for 4. He's got 3 singles and a double.
And with those 4 hits, the A's have kept him from scoring 3 of the 4 times. He scored just the 1 run.
Gordon came in hitting .309. Right now he's hitting .333. Gamble runs and the ball's foul back to the screen, 1 and 2. Esmero Petit is pitcher number 4 in the ball game for the A's. That one is going to get through into right field, a base hit. Gamble around second, he's going to go to third. And D. Gordon is 5 for 5. He didn't hit that real hard, but it found the hole.
Well, you know, the times that he has gone with a base hit to right field, it's when there's been a runner first base. Healy in his last at bat singled to right field. Got the base hit to shortstop in the third at bat. Ground rule double to right center and then let off the game with a bunt. So he's done everything tonight. And I'd say right now he's probably going to try to steal to try to stay have a double play. So Esmero Petit makes some pitches and maybe Segura will hit a ball hard to a middle infield and turn to. Segura can run and can make contact.
Gordon not running, and a fastball for a strike. Segura is 0 for 2.
Yeah, Cap, it seems like a couple of times that Gordon has not run. It's like he thought a throw was coming to first base. He just kind of froze. And both times, or at least a couple of times that we've seen, that the pitcher has thrown to the plate instead and he just kind of stopped.
Gordon stole a base in the 6th inning. It was his 11th of the year. There he goes. And Segura reached for it on a pitch that was off the plate, and maybe Segura saw a little hole on the right side. I don't know.
Or it looked like hit and run, which would be a little bit strange to have a hit and run put on with the speed of D. Gordon.
So 0-2 now for Yusmeiro Petit on Segura. Cano waits in the on-deck circle. Gordon runs. Outside, throw to second base, not in time. So give Gordon his second stolen base of the night.
And you know, you take a look at that play. The A's are fortunate with Marcus Semien backhanded the ball. Jonathan Lucroy did not look to second or to third, and the ball thrown to second base almost as if he knew Gamble was not going to be attempting to score. But a little backhand by Marcus Semien, good hands, keep the ball from going to center field, because that would have been a run and Gordon could have walked to third base.
Petit with the infield in. Segura spoiled a pretty good pitch. That's what he can do. Put the barrel of the bat on the ball when it's not a good pitch. Some guys have that talent. Fastball away. The crowd tonight isn't small. 12,468.
For teams coming off a road trip, very successful road trip, and this is the result. And granted, it's a little bit cool night, but in a school night, still, team's pretty successful.
You know what, Ray? The Astros lost tonight.
Yeah.
So right now, the Mariners are just 2 games out of first place. Segura, high and foul down the right field line. Yeah, this is as small of a crowd as we've seen here in a long, long time. Last year, the Mariners averaged a little over 26,000 a game. What a play by Yusmeiro Petit, and he cannot quite get himself balanced to throw home, so he's got to throw to first. They get the out there, but the run scores. That's too bad. He made a sensational play, but he just could not quite get balanced. So Gamble scores to make it a 3-run game.
Well, you're right. What a play. And Gamble coming down, and actually he was running almost on contact. As soon as the ball was on the ground, he took off, but Petit reaching back behind his back, but by the time he rolled over, realized and had to hurry to get the runner at first base, but at least he got the one out. What a play.
So Segura gets his second RBI tonight, his 23rd of the year. Gordon now at third, and here's Cano. That run, Gamble scoring. That run is charged to Coulombe. Cano has been on base 1 time. That was with the walk in the 6th inning. Up the middle, but Semien's right there. On to first, side retired, but a run. An insurance run for the Mariners. Diaz coming in. It's the 9th, 6-3 Seattle. Last shot for the A's as it's 6-3 Seattle, top of the 9th inning. And the guy having maybe as good a season as any reliever so far this year in the American League. Edwin Diaz comes in.
And Cap, you're right. That insurance run was huge.
Yeah.
In the bottom of the 8th inning.
Look at those numbers. He's
11,
allowed just 2 hits.
Yeah, 11 for 11.
And 27 strikeouts in 14 innings.
And really just 2 pitches, fastball, slider, but obviously enough.
First pitch to Chris Davis is in for a strike, 95 miles an hour. Diaz, 24 years old, leading the American League in saves with those 11. Last year he saved 34. He's a better pitcher now, though, a different pitcher now. He seems to just a little better control, a little more under control. He'll face Davis, Olson, and Chapman. There's another strike, 98 miles an hour. This is not the kind of guy you want to get behind 0-2 in the count. That's no fun. And he came right at him with 97. And Davis strikes out for the 3rd time. So the A's have struck out 12 times tonight.
Well, that is to just challenge belt tie and good fastball and just rear back and let it go.
So here's Olson. Olson a walk, a fly out, and a double. He scored a run. That was in the 7th inning. The Angels won that game. They got a run in the bottom of the 9th, so they beat the Orioles 3-2. So that ends the Angels' 4-game losing streak. They're now 17-12, and they pick up a game on the Astros. Well, the Angels now just 2 games back. Swing and a miss.
Well, again, he just rears back and throws, and you know, a closer now can come in and just air it out. You don't need more than 2 pitches, fastball, slider, and why worry about anything else? It's a fastball, why not?
And it runs outside on 3-2, and Olson walks. So the A's get a base runner here in the 9th.
Matt Olson 3 walks tonight, so again the patience actually had a double and a couple of walks.
So Matt Chapman steps up. First pitch to Chapman is a strike down around the knees. Chapman thought maybe it was a little bit low. There's a nasty slider. It's not a strike at the end, but it looks like a strike the whole time it's coming to play. Watch where this ends up.
Yeah,
but you can see why a guy would swing at it.
And you're looking at an 89-mile-an-hour slider with about a 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
It really probably looks like a strike the whole time you swing at it.
You know, there's one word that really applies to someone like Diaz called intimidation. I mean, you can intimidate a hitter to the point that he's up there trying to change and maybe swing. His swing is different.
Left side of the diamond. It's going to be Segura, the shortstop, who has it. 2 outs. And you're saying intimidation, just his stuff.
exactly.
He's just a skinny guy. I mean, it's not his.
Well, yeah,
physical,
it's
just
stuff.
the
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, it's the fastball slider combination. Yeah, he's not. I mean, Dylan Betances, I mean, is the type of guy as big as he is, or Ronald Chapman.
Presence, yeah.
You know, they can intimidate you by looking at him, but Diaz, he intimidates you with his fastball and slider.
So it's up to Canna. Fastball, 98 miles an hour inside. Canna had a base hit in the 7th inning, and it knocked in a run. It was that infield hit.
He kind of guided that slider at 88. Probably don't want to try to get hit by any of these pitches, fastball or slider.
So us yelling, "Let it hit you" up here is probably a real.
Yeah, because they'll yell back and say, "You do it, then. You think it's so much fun? You let it hit you."
Take one for the team.
Yeah.
Pinder waiting in the on-deck circle. Yeah, missed again. Now it's 3-1.
You know, you think about it, Kai. If you put a good swing, he can provide the power.
No question.
You know, that's just trying to make solid contact, and Diaz to do the rest.
And that one's inside, and the A's will get the tying run to the plate. So it'll be Pinder, Jonathan Lucroy, who's after Pinder, comes out, has a quick chat with Pinder.
Probably told him he hit a 3-run home run. Well, look for the fastball and let it go. Thing is, Pinder has the power and the capability of doing it. This is the pitches, all of them a little bit out of the strike zone. That ball running in, similar to the one that ran away from Olsen. 96 running in.
So 2 walks in the inning have given the A's a shot here with Pinder, who is 0 for 3. RBI ground out in the 7th. First pitch, swing and a miss on a slider. That's another thing we've noticed with Diaz, Ray. Often he has better control with his slider than he does with his fastball. Sometimes he gets underneath that fastball a little bit. There's another slider.
Yeah.
So 0-2. Pinder's got to fight here. And the slider snaps in there. Strike 3 called.
3 in a row.
3 in a row, and that's the ball game. So Diaz comes in, walks a couple, but strikes out a couple, and he picks up his 12th save of the year. So game 1 of this 3-game series goes to the Mariners, and the A's drop back under the 500 mark at 14-15. Time of game was 3 hours and 6 minutes. The attendance was 12,468. The final score, game 1, the Seattle Mariners over the Oakland A's, 6-3. We'll be back with A's post-game live from right here in Seattle right after this.